Hi everyone. Thank you all for joining this session. It's pleasure having you all. Thanks for making time and attending this. So today we would be talking about the latest features which has been introduced in Audit 360. So as a continuous improvement, we always try to bring in continuous improvement on Audit 360, and we are committed in bringing in new features, security enhancements, not only on the usage part, we also would like to look at the performances at your end, and also would like to bring more updates and features to you all. So as part of the latest updates, we would be today talking on the recent releases, which is the password policy. There was a revision in the password policy which we had introduced when we would be talking about the purge notification, which is the internal messages and subaudit scores. There was an improvement which was made, and the lead auditor premium feature which we have introduced. So I'll be talking more about this each of this point further. I would like to share that there is a Q&A section open. If you have any queries on any point, any moment of the time, you can please share your queries there. We would take up the queries on live and answer them to you all. And also we would publish those queries for reference for others as well. So starting with the password policy, we had a password policy in place, but we wanted to revise it and make it much stronger, where the security features can be managed, and we wanted to bring in more secured way of functioning. So we have changed the policy. So most of if you would have already faced the screen where we had requested for the change of password. This page talks about the renewal of your password, where the password would be expired and we would be renewing it. The screen would also appear for all the users for the 90 days from the password has been introduced. So the revised password policy, what we have introduced is first, the all new user, when at the time of the first login, asked to mandatorily change their password. So there will be a system generated password which would be sent as a part of confirmation email, which will to be used for the first login. And moment the first login is done, the system would invoke the user to do the password change, and it's a mandatory activity. Once the password is being changed in the system, the user would get notification and on the change of their password for every 90 days. So once the password gets 90 days of its time and be part of the renewal, it would enforce the user to change the password basis the modification and the creation. So after you make a modification, another 90 days, there would be a revision of password which is required to be done. So as part of this renewal of the password or the change of the password, we would be maintaining an history of passwords in the backend, and every changes which happens will be verified with the password history and ensure that there is no reusability for the last or the previous 12 passwords. So there will be 12 passwords, previous password which should be stored, and we cannot repeat the same password when we are changing the password, so that we don't end up utilizing the old password and there is no risk of anyone utilizing your password and misusing the login. So that's the reason we have come up with the password policy. We know that this would we would feel that this could be a little inconvenience, but trust us that this is to safeguard and as a best practice towards securing and our information and asset, and also for better performances, we have made this changes. So this revised password is applicable for everyone, and it's already been deployed in all the production servers. So if you have any queries on the revised password policy, please do write to us on the Q&A section. We would be taking up all the queries and answering them. So now let us move ahead. We have covered the password policy. Now let us move ahead where we'll go to the next releases. The next is the purge notification. Purge notification, we have done this activity as part of a performance improvement. So there are all the users who are using the internal messaging. This changes would be seen on those modules. In the internal messaging, all the notification which is get stored, irrespective it has been read or unread, those messages which are shown under the internal messages will be available for the 60 days period. From the today to the past 60 days, the data would be available. Anything beyond 60 days, the notification would be removed. So system would only show the 60 days notification on screen to the user. So this is the one more change which we have done in the recent release as part of performance improvement. Now there is an improvement which has been done on the sub-audit score. So what we have made changes in the sub-audit score is there is no change in the calculation as such, but the way the data is being displayed as a UI part, there is a sub-audit level changes has been made. So let me allow me to log into the Audit 360 application to show how the sub-audit scores are seen and how the information can be read at the review audit module. Meantime, if you have any queries, you can always write to us on the Q&A section. Let me just quickly switch to the Audit 360 application. I'm on Audit 360 application. I'm logging in. The sub-audit scores are ideally will be available on the review audit module. So all the users who have access to review audit module, the users who are reviewer or any role who have access to review audit and the super admin roles will have these changes which can be seen. So under the review audit module, we can take any audits which has the sub audits as part of their configure audit type. So this changes is only at the sub audit level, and any parent audit which has an audit with the only group, this changes would not be applicable. So let me take any finalized audit. Sorry, let me just finalize the audit first. I'm taking one audit. I'm going to take an audit which can be in review. So I have one audit which is in review. So let me go inside. So if you see in the summary, we have all the sub audits which are being listed, and currently there is no achieved score available because this still audit has to be finalized, and as part of all the edits and final review and the finalization, there will be a achieved score which gets calculated. So let me just quickly finalize one audit. I'm just selecting. So this audit is not done. Choosing all the sub audits, let me just quickly do the review and finalize. Using another sub audit which has only one checkpoint. Finalizing main audit, finalize. It's finalized. So I'm taking this audit which currently I just finalized. Coming to the summary page. In the summary page consists all this detail. So earlier screen, if you all could remember, at the sub-audit level, against every sub-audit, we had auditor execution status, and also the achieved score was on click of I button, where when click of view button, the scores were seen. Now we have modified so that on single glance, a user can make out what is the achieved score. We are also giving the scores with numerator and denominator, which is easy for any user to look at the performance of the subaudit basis the observation shared by the auditor. So if you the basis whatever groups or the subaudits we have created, there is a denominator which says the achieved score is being mentioned. So this gives more clarity for a person who's reviewing the audit and also to know how the performance of the audits are been working. So this is one change which has been made. All these scores are displayed on the summary page at a subaudit level. Kindly note, this change is only applicable for audits which has a subaudit configuration in it. Any audit which is general groups added to the parent audit type would not have this table or the achieved score at the group level available. It is only available at the subaudit level. And the subaudit level scores are also basis, even when there is an annexure, is basis the current calculation what we are doing on the primary identifier or the subaudit level calculation. There is no change in the calculation being made. Only the UI part, which is the display of the scores, has been modified. So this is on the subaudit score. Santosh, is there any questions from anyone?
No, there is only the message that the screen is blurred, which generally could be because of the network.
Yeah.
It should improve. Just let us know in some time if it doesn't improve.
Okay. If you have any queries related to the latest updates which I have mentioned, please do write to us on the Q&A section. So now the next recent release what we had done was on the lead auditor. So lead auditor is a concept which has been introduced as a new feature into Audit 360 as a premium feature. So whoever is interested in this premium feature have to subscribe to this feature. You may get in touch with your respective relationship managers to have this feature enabled. So let me just take you through how the lead auditor works. So before that, I would like to give you an understanding on how this lead auditor and why this lead auditor has been developed. So lead auditor concept has been introduced for those clients who majorly have a lead auditor concept used where where there is a multi-auditor scenario and there is one leader who leads the complete audit execution. So when we have multi-auditor scenario, there would be a chances that there is an allocation base which happens where the distribution of the work is happening, which is known to the user. There's other way of lead auditor, other way of multiple auditor happening is a parallel execution where the multiple auditors can execute audits parallelly and manage their work in coordination with themselves. The other way of the multi-auditor audit execution we have observed is a lead auditor concept, where there would nominate one of the auditor as a lead auditor who would drive these audits and execute the audits in coordination with the other auditors available as part of the schedule. So here as a concept wise, we have not introduced any default role or any new role to this because the majorly in the market what we have seen is the lead auditor will be one among the auditors, the base of auditors we have, and also the lead auditor could be get shuffled basis the audit schedules. It could be when I have three auditors, one auditor one can become a lead auditor once, and in another set of audits, the auditor two can become the lead auditor also. So there is always a shuffle or the possibility that they could also play as an auditor role. So we have tried achieving this with the existing auditor base. So wherever there is a use of the concept of lead auditor, this would be a very suitable role where the lead auditor would complete the audit execution, where he would take care of the start of the audit, submission of the audit, would also take care of the allocation of the audit. He would decide whether the parallel execution should happen or the allocation based of allocation should happen. He would also, even in between of the audit when it is in progress, he can even try to add try to add the auditors or remove auditors basis the work allocation coming up, or if someone is on sick, he would want to replace some other auditor with the same mapping available. So all that management of the audit execution can be done by this lead auditor, and he would have more powers compared to the other auditors in executing the audit. He would also send a request for extension of the audit. Currently, the extension request is not available from the auditor side, but this extension can happen from the supervisor or the reviewer, where they can extend the scheduled end date basis a request coming from the auditor. But here in this, from the system, the request can be flown to the user. And this feature would also be similar, such feature will be also available for other audits as well, other than lead auditor, in the upcoming sprint item. So this is on the lead auditor. Let me just show you how the lead auditor schedule would happen and the associated functionalities available for the lead auditor. Would like to repeat, if you have any queries, please do write to us on the Q&A section. So this is a new feature. I believe there would be a lot of queries which could come up. So I'm going to the schedule module. So there'll be no change in the way the checkpoint or the configure audit happens. There's no change which will be there. So the first change you could see in the lead auditor would be on the schedule part. So let us just schedule an audit and then explain how a lead auditor can be selected. Let me just take audit type. Selecting one of the auditee here. Taking the audits for 2 days, and now I'm choosing multi-auditor because always the lead auditor will be with the multi-auditor. I'm choosing the name. We have given 2 auditors for now. So I will enable, there is a option called is lead auditor. So I'm just enabling this. So when the moment I enable the lead auditor, the allocation based is being removed and the lead auditor option gets enabled. So here between the auditors we have chosen, I can choose who would play the role of lead auditor. Let me just choose this as Ravi. And I'm saving this. So I've created one schedule. Let me just create one more schedule where I'm choosing a different auditor as a lead auditor. I'm choosing again the same auditee. Just a minute. I'm just trying to change the I'm giving the same date. This is I'm giving it as a single date for now. I'm choosing this similar auditee with multiple auditor. We'll choose. Choosing lead auditor, and I'm choosing myself as the lead auditor here so that I can show the functionality as well. So I've created 2 schedules. So if I'm just selecting the same schedule here. And if you see, there are two schedules which has been created where Ramya Uppala and Ravi Satish is there in one of the auditor, and Ganga and Ramya Uppala are there in the same auditor, and you could see the mapping of the not been done. So I'm just moving now to a role of auditor. So now if you see, there are two schedules which is available. There were two schedules on my name which I had scheduled for now. And there is differences seen on those two schedules. The first schedule for which Ramya, who is myself, who is not the lead auditor, has an option shown stating that lead auditor not accepted. So the other auditors, other than the lead auditor, the schedule can be seen on the upcoming audits, but they will not be able to start the audit until unless the lead auditor accepts the schedule and this starts the audit. So as the lead auditor has all the powers or the empowerment to drive this whole schedule execution, so the lead auditor will has to accept it, then only the other auditor will be able to start. So in other schedule, if you see, the Ramya was the lead auditor. So the option of accept, reject, reassign or request, all that is available. So the lead auditor can decide whether to accept and start the audit or to reject the schedule, or would also request for the reassignment and also would like to reschedule the audits here. So this is a functionality difference which you could see at the first place, where the control of the audit start is there with the lead auditor. Now let me just accept this and show you further functionality. The moment the execution has been accepted, we would get the allocation screen where lead auditor can decide whether to go with the parallel execution or for a allocation based execution. So when in allocation based execution, the lead auditor can decide whether the allocation can be done at the sub-audit level or a PI level or a group or a checkpoint level. So let me just explain you what are this configuration level. When it is sub-audit level, so parent audit has different processes which has been configured as sub-audit. So the lead auditor can decide which sub-audit should be assigned to which of the auditor. So here the lead auditor himself is also an auditor. You would have other auditors who are working as mapped to this schedule, so he can allocate at the sub-audit level. Now even at the sub-audit level, when there is annexures, especially when the samples wise, if we would want to allocate the samples between different auditors, he can always choose PI. So what happens is at the sub-audit level, whatever the primary identifier we have or the samples we have can be distributed. The group of PIs can be distributed to different auditors. We can even distribute the allocation of the work at the group level also. So basis the group we have defined the list of checkpoints we can be assigned to a different groups. And if you want to go to a checkpoint level, if a lead auditor wants to go to a checkpoint level, now I have only one group, but I have 10 checkpoints. I want this 10 checkpoint to be distributed between the two auditors. That also is possible with lead auditor. He can just choose the checkpoint level. So moment if there are 4 level of configuration available, the user can choose the basis the allocation of work he would want to do to complete the audit within the scheduled period. Now, if you choose only the sub-audit, it will only give you the sub-audit name. If you choose at the PI and other things, the earlier screen would help you in configuration. I can choose whether I want the audit should be between, for example, within Ganga and Ramya. So I'm giving the annexure part to Ganga and I'm giving the general annexure, general audit with Ramya. So if I can do allocation, or if you just click on parallel execution, so there will be no allocation available. All the auditors who are mapped to this audit can continue executing the audit. So I can just click on parallel execution. So it will be just a submit and we can continue executing the audit. So now let me just come to the allocation itself. I'll just submit details. So it is not allocated. Let me just take this again, the allocation once again. Allocating general and the annexure part. I'm submitting the audit. So execution status. Now, if you see the screen, there are the accept reject has been moved and the options available for the lead auditor is manage auditor, request for extension, and you can start the audit. If there is a schedule reference file premium feature is already be enabled, the view audit reference and attach audit reference will also be part of the audit schedule, which is available on the upcoming audit screen. Santosh, are there any queries to be addressed?
No questions.
Okay. Moving ahead, I'm just starting the audit. I as a lead auditor would like to execute the audit. So I have general audits and the further workflow and execution all remains the same. I'll be able to start the audit and there is be no change in the execution part. Now we are in the audit which is in progress mode. Now we feel that one of the auditor is sick and is not able to continue, or I may have to assign that auditor to some other activity. So in that case, I may have to remove the allocation, but however, I want to replace the auditor to continue with the further execution. In that case, I can just come to the home screen where the lead auditor execution is in progress. I will just click on manage auditor. Now I had allocation with Ganga, so I will remove Ganga because she was not available. I am giving this audit to some other auditor as a demo auditor. And I will replace by demo auditor, sorry, here. Choosing the demo auditor 3, and I'm submitting here. So what would happen? The allocation modification is happened. Instead of Ganga, demo auditor is available. So the audit would continue with demo auditor. If Ganga had not started any of the audit execution, then the demo auditor would start from the initial checkpoint and the samples available. If in case the auditor who left, which is Ganga in our example, had executed 2 samples already, the rest of the samples which are pending will only be executed by the demo auditor. So this will help the lead auditor to manage the work flow, and if he would, when there are more sub-audits, or if he feels when it is in parallel execution, he wants to add more people, he'll be able to add them basis the need and the necessity in the execution side. This is one functionality which is a beneficial where you can just submit and the allocation gets modified. So if you again wants any changes, you can always click on manage auditor and move ahead. Now we are in execution where we also know that, okay, when there is a allocation modification can be done, I can add new people or I can add more people. I can even replace someone. I can even remove one of the auditor. All that is possible in manage auditor. Now, with the way the execution is happening, I am very clear that as a lead auditor, I will not be able to complete my audit by the end date given. So this was an audit which was a single day audit. I'm very sure this would not happen in a single execution mode. So what I would want to do is I want to request for extension. So I will click on request for extension. So I'll propose a new date. I will mention instead of 27th, I'm taking for safer side a 28th date. Reason for extension is that more processes to be verified. I'm submitting this. So here, if you see, the request has been sent. There was a successful message which came in. The extension request sent has been disabled so that until unless that is being handled, there is no other request being taken up from the system. But however, auditor can continue executing the audit. So because the audit has to continue and parallelly, the request will be handled by the supervisor. Let me just move on to the Sumeru super.
Ramya, couple of things here. One is the screen seems to be unclear again. So if you can try and share the screen again, and there is a question.
Okay.
On how can the lead auditor start the audit?
Okay.
So the answer to that, how can the lead auditor start the audit is like any other auditor. After accepting the audit, the lead auditor also has the access to work on the audit. So using that, he will be able to start the audit. Ramya, maybe you can
Show it once
start.
again.
If there is another schedule available, you can show how it can be started.
Okay, I'll just make a schedule. I don't have a schedule available. Let me just quickly, and I've also stopped sharing and again started sharing again. Hope the image clarity is clear now.
I'm not sure because it was clear for me from the beginning itself. I just tried this so that it may sometimes have an impact. So let us see.
Yeah, I think I've already done the changes. If someone can confirm, that would be good. So I'm just creating one small audit for now. I'll just show how the start can happen. Scheduling for today's date itself. I'm choosing myself as the lead auditor here. So the schedule is ready. I'm moving to the auditor role. So this is a new schedule. The schedule itself will look similar to the current upcoming audits we have. Any audits which has been scheduled by the reviewer or the super admin would be appearing like this, where accept reject is possible. If we are not the lead auditor, then until unless the start has happened, they would get this message as lead auditor not accepted. Once the lead auditor start, then the start button would appear for other auditors. Now for the lead auditor can accept the schedule and then go to the allocation. So let me just click on the accept. The moment you accept, it will ask for a allocation base. In this, I'm just choosing parallel execution. You can just click on submit. The moment you submit, you will get a start button. So I'm coming to the ACG audit. So you would have not started. I can just click on not started, start executing the audit. This is how a lead auditor can start. The only thing is the same process is there until unless the lead auditor start, other auditor would not be able to start the audit. And with the same audit, he can even manage the auditor. So if you see, I had only demo auditor. I want to add some more auditor here. So I'll be able to add the auditor during the execution. So when it is in progress, only I can add any auditor. I can remove the auditor also. I'll just remove demo auditor and I'm just submitting this. So this is how the lead auditor can start and also manage the auditor part. Now I'm coming back to the request for extension. Here we had sent a extension request. So I'm coming to the super admin role. Here under the schedule, we have extension schedule as the sub module available here. We click on extension schedule. Now if you see, I have whatever the requests, whichever requests come, will be shown on this screen, where we have a search option by the audit type or auditee, lead auditor, and all these options are available. So there is only two schedules which is on screen. So I'm not playing anything on the search criteria, but search can be done on multiple items where you can search either by auditee or by lead auditor and all. So all the requests whichever is been sent by the lead auditor can be seen on this screen, where we can mention, where you will also see the reason why this has been asked for extension. The extension date is also available. So the user can review the request which has come, either choose to accept or the request. For in this case, I am just accepting the request. And once it is accepted, let me just come to the auditor page. If you see, the again request for extension has come back because we have already handled the request there. And if when you come to the details part, the audits can also continue executing here. I can just go and start the audit and complete as when we want to complete it. If you want, again, if you feel that there is one more extension required, we can even request that. And the changeover, if you could see earlier, it was the 26 was the end date. We had requested till 28th. So the till 28th, the schedule has been blocked. If I want to do an extension, I'll be able to extend only beyond 28th. I can ask any extension for 29, 30 or further. Nothing on already, we cannot do a preponement of the request here. So the whatever is the acceptance happen will be applied on the calendar and the schedule will get blocked till 28th. So if I want to extend more, I can request for either 29th or 30th and resubmit it again. So this is on the lead auditor. So once the other auditor completes the audit, they will be then the submission button would be coming for the lead auditor. So when you have other auditors, other auditor will continue to execute the audits in the normal way how we currently are doing. Instead of submission button, they will get a task done or a job done button. And once all the allocation based or the parallel wise, if all the checkpoints are being executed, then only the lead auditor will be able to submit the audit. So let me just quickly, this is a ACG audit is a small audit. As a lead auditor itself, let me complete and show the submission part. I'm just quickly executing an audit. Finishing the audit. So all my audit is completed as a lead auditor. So this is how the lead auditor would work. So I would request you all, if you are interested in opting for this premium feature, request you to kindly get in touch with your respective relationship manager, and they will help you in subscribing this feature. So these were the updates on the.
There were more questions, so
yes,
I have answered, but I would like to cover them.
Yes, I was about
on
to
the
ask. Yes.
Yeah. So, what if some other auditor starts the audit?
In the lead audit concept?
Yeah. So anyone after acceptance done by the lead auditor, anyone can start the audit. It doesn't matter if the person who's starting the audit is a lead auditor or not. The acceptance is with lead auditor, but starting of the audit is not limited to the lead auditor.
Yeah.
Then one more point. Any other, if the lead auditor has started the audit, how will the others come to know? The audit will change to in progress. So all concerned auditors who have the schedule, who share the schedule, will come to know as the audit status changes to in progress.
Yes, ideally, until unless the acceptance is not done by the auditor, they would be getting this message of, I'll just show you this again on the screen. It says that lead auditor not accepted. The moment the lead auditor accepts, on the screen they will get start button where they can start the audits and start executing the audits on all the checkpoints.
Yeah, those were the only questions.
Yeah, any other queries?
How would the other auditors be aware that lead auditor has accepted the audit? So until the lead auditor has accepted, like Ramya explained just now, the start button won't be available. And the moment it is accepted, the start button would become available for the lead auditor. Now, post acceptance, the status can notification can also be set. So the obvious next question could be that the auditor has to keep a watch on the schedule to know this. Need not be. A notification can be set. So other question is, can it be configured with any notification? The answer is yes.
Yes.
The audit start notification can be activated here. Audit acceptance notification can be activated here.
Yeah, one more update I would like to give. Just kindly note this. Currently also we do not have this, and this continues for the lead auditor. The multiple auditor schedule cannot be possible in the schedule upload functionality and also on the create schedule. So lead auditor will also not be possible on the schedule upload as well as on the self schedule. And any manage auditors also is only possible within the mapping which is done on the geographical manner. So if you have 4 auditors which is mapped to the particular auditee or to the cluster, you can manage the auditors only with that 4 auditors only. So there we are not compromising anything on the rules of what we are currently are following, where the location mapping is basis the mapping the auditors will be able to execute the audit. So all the auditors who are mapped to that particular auditee or a cluster can only be managed for the schedules available.
Who gets the notification of the audit accepted by the lead auditor? So as in the case of any other notification, who gets the notification can be configured. It could be other auditors, it could be all auditors in the audit, or it could be the reviewer, it could be auditors plus the reviewer plus the head of audit. However it is, whatever is required. If there are any more questions, please feel free to write into us, or please feel free to call us. We'll be more than happy to do a one-on-one walkthrough. From the details that have come, we've not been able to see who or which is the specific organization from where the questions have come. So if there is an interest and you need a detailed walkthrough, please feel free to write into us. We shall be more than happy to give you a more detailed walkthrough of the feature. Yeah, I think that's it. As usual, request all of you to share your feedback, share any suggestions in terms of how we are presenting these sessions or what we are covering in these sessions, or if there is any feature that you would like to see covered, please feel free to let us know. And also on the quality of how useful these are, please do come back to us. We'll be waiting to hear from you. I think there is one more question. Suppose if an audit type has many subaudits, can the lead auditor define allocate subaudit to a particular auditor? Yes, it is possible. The lead auditor can do allocation. Ramya, at what all levels these allocations are possible? At a subaudit level only?
There are 4 levels, Santosh. One is subaudit, another one is at a group level. Next is on the PI, which is sample level allocation also can be done within the subaudit. And fourth is at a checkpoint level.
So there are basically two types of what you call detail available within an audit. One is the subaudit and the subauditee. So different subaudits can be allocated to different auditors, or one subaudit can be picked and different samples can be given to different auditors. That is also possible. This was previously not possible, but currently with this feature, we have made this possible. Similarly, if there is no subaudit and it is a group that is in use, then at the group level, different groups can be allocated to different auditors, or within the same group, the checkpoints can be allocated to different auditors. Different checkpoints can be allocated to different auditors. So, yeah, a lot of flexibility comes in with this feature.